Well, how y'all doing? Finally doing a video that ain't a giveaway. I'm out here at the farm, and I promised y'all I'd show you how I water my chickens from the creek. Of course, the creek is down there. Oh, it's probably 8 foot from my feet down to where the water is. Maybe not quite that far, but it's a pretty good drop. And I'm out here like 400 or 500 feet from the house. So when I run my water hose from the house using that city water, come wintertime, you know, when we got that cold weather, you know, the water freezes in these garden hoses, so that ain't no count. So then I got to haul water. Well, I want to tell you what, you can get pretty damn tired of hauling water when it's 3 degrees outside. And I had purchased the parts to make this back in the summertime. I've got some of those big square plastic tanks, you know, like 4 foot by 4 foot or 4 foot by 40 inches by 4 foot tall, whatever. You know, that they're enclosed with aluminum type cage, you know, built on their own pallet. And I thought what I would do is I would pump water out of the creek up into those and then gravity feed my garden. Well, come to find out, we ended up having a daggum drought this year, and there wasn't much of a creek to pump from. So I never did get around to fooling with that. I just use city water. But city water ain't too expensive. I just don't like the idea of it, all that damn chlorine and shit. Anyway, the wind is blowing terribly, and that's why I've got the camera set up inside the truck so you can hear me. I'm going to describe what I've done, and then I will take the camera and I will film it and just have some music for background or something, okay? Or maybe just put a caption on or what everything is. But what I did is I started off with Harbor Freight, and I got like a pond pump, you know, or a bilge pump like you use on your boat. And it says it will pump an 18-foot head. That means it'll pump 18 feet above the pump. I said that'll work. Then I went to Lowe's, and well, you know what? Maybe I can drag it up here and show it to you. Shoo! Okay. Well, here's my pump. I don't really see any identifying on it for you, but that gives you an idea what it looks like. And I got that at Harbor Freight. Then this right here is a piece of hose. This is a 1-inch braid, PVC braid hose. I didn't put a hose clamp on it because it really was tight getting it on there. This back here is called a barb fitting that pushes into the hose. Then you're supposed to put a C-clamp around it, or a hose clamp around it. Then it's got threads. And then I've got a water or garden hose adapter here, which screws on there. And then I've got garden hose threads I can screw my garden hose on. Well, I ended up finding this garden hose in the dump and was able to mess with it and make it work good enough. The other end I've just got cut off. I don't even have the screw end on it. Alright, and this is the wire that come with the pump, about probably a good 4.5 foot of it. And then while I was dumpster diving, old boys had these, some folks threw out a vacuum cleaner. And a vacuum cleaner, some of them got a pretty long wire or cord on them. It's got to be every bit of 20-something foot. Anyway, the wire to that I cut off of a vacuum cleaner, it's got to be 20-something foot long. Then I went to Dollar Tree. when they was having 10% off, and I bought a handful of extension cords. 6-foot extension cords with a triple outlet on the end. And I got them at the Dollar Tree for 90 cents. You know, I got to do it cheap. Anyway, if you've priced wire, I guarantee you, you can't buy 6 foot of this wire for no 90 cents. And then I went back to Harbor Freight, and I got this electrical clip assortment. And it's 28 pieces. It's got a whole bunch of alligator clips on it. And it's got 2 sets of these battery clips. I call them battery clips, you know, clip on battery. But these was $2.99 unless you had an Inside Track Club membership, in which all of them was just $1.99. And I let my Inside Track Club expire because I ain't done any large purchases lately. But even without my Inside Track Club, take $2.99, take 20% off, that drops it down to $2.39 for all them, and that's kind of hard to beat. So I put them on the end of the extension cord. So now I clip this on my truck battery, or whenever I get my solar panels out here, to the solar panel, to the battery the solar panel's hooked to. So let me tell you how I wired this. In residential wiring, your wide, you know, on your plug, you've got a wide and not as wide prong on your cord, okay? It's actually a polarized, what they call a polarized plug, in that instead of having a third prong for ground, your neutral is ground. And if you were to look inside a power panel in your house, you would find that your white wire is connected to the ground bar. So what I had to do as I was wiring this up is keep in mind the difference between 12 volt DC and 120 volt AC as far as which is ground and which is hot. All right. So coming off of my pump, I had a black wire and a white wire. Okay. In 12 volts, black wire is ground. All right. So that get a little bit confusing because in your residential wiring, your ground is white. So coming off of my 12 volt DC pump with my black wire, I connected it to the white wire of the 120 volt type cord. I know I'm confusing the hell out of you. Maybe I ought to make a drawing of it. Okay? So my ground in 120 volt wiring, my ground is my white. In 12 volt, it's black. And then I kept track of the white or the ground all the way through. And then back to 12 volts, I put the black clip, which is ground for 12 volt DC. I put the black clip on what would be considered the white wire for residential wiring. So those of you that understand that, that's great. Those of you that don't, I'll try to draw a picture of it and film it and let y'all, you know, you can pause and look at it. Now, I didn't have to have this white cord here. I could have just cut the end off of this right here and wired my clips right on here, but I like the convenience of this. I like being able to clip onto my battery and have a a receptacle for 12 volt. And a lot of you might say, well, you know, that's kind of stupid because somebody's going to plug that cord into a 120 volt outlet, burn out your pump. Well, ain't nobody messing with my stuff, so I ain't worried about it. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to set the camera up and let you see this in operation. And I apologize, you won't get to listen to me babbling. At least I'm not trying to give something away. How's that? Anyhow, we'll get a couple of minutes footage here. Show me hooking this thing up, putting the creek the whole bit, and getting water. All right. So let's take the camera with me.
Y'all see the creek down there?
I don't have a switch. Just as soon as I clip this on, it's supposed to start working. Oh yeah, we had a little spark there, so that motor's probably kicked in. And let's see. So there's the hose. And there's the water. There you go. I don't buy new cars. I don't buy brand names. I go to Goodwill for my clothes. I like to save money. I like